Good morning. Welcome to Politics and Power on TSLNigeria TV. It's another Monday, another week for us to look at the political situation in the country as we draw closer to the 2023 election. I have a very articulate guest. Okay, when I say articulate, I'm not talking about somebody from the Atiku camp. I mean articulate, highly cerebral guest on set this morning, and that's the person of Honorable Desmond Ricosa. Is actually vying for the position of the House of Assembly, Edo State House of Assembly, for the good people, to represent the good people of Oredo East constituency in the Edo State House of Assembly. With him, this one will be looking at a very interesting topic, and that is understanding politics in rural development. And there's this cliche, they keep telling us politics is local, which means that you take power from the people to be able to better the life of the people. That's why you go into politics, right? But these days we see things that is way beyond that. We see people take power to enrich themselves. Now, I want to ask you, Ricosa, politics, they say, is local. Getting the mandate to help the people. Why is it that when we give power to you politicians, we get to see otherwise?
Thank you very much, Mr. Kewe, for having me. And let me also specifically thank you for all you do. I mean, little fires, they say, you don't get to burn the whole expanse. So for me, you have a wide coverage and continue the good work.
Thank you.
Now back to the question you just asked. Politics is local, and then you want to know why when politicians are voted into power, they turn around and engage the people.
Yeah.
So you must first of all look at the process that got those politicians into power.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not forget the weightier matter, the basics. There's a process.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the process of childbirth. There's a process from coitus to the medical terms that may not be clear for me, but it's from one stage to the first trimester
So you get to full term, yeah.
You get the full term,
Yeah.
and then delivery. The same applies to politics.
Yeah.
So now, when they say politics is local, what that means is politics belongs to the people. The grassroots.
Absolutely.
So it's not an elitist kind of thing where you just sit down in an office and then you are commanding and dictating. So that locality means, you are decentralizing it. To say a small community of people here, let's say 50 or 100, can say, no, we need this man with his high level of understanding of our needs to go to position A or B, to represent us. Mm-hmm. So that is what that politics is local represents. It's localized.
Yeah.
It's domiciled amongst the people. So it's not rocket science where you just say, to get to the seat of representative or senate or this is hard though. Mm-mm. I'll be breaking it down in the course of this program. Mm-hmm. So back to your question. The reason they change when they get there is simple. The process, how they got there, is what changes them. So now let me give you a very clear example. The politics have started, campaigns have started, so we can talk around these, topics without fear or favor.
Yeah.
Embargoes have been lifted.
Yeah.
Before you can be elected into any office or any position, there must be a primary election. And the process is to conclude a primary election is either through direct primaries, indirect primaries, or consensus. These things are embedded in the Electoral Act, party constitutions, and even the Nigerian constitution too, which is the overall. Now, you as an electorate or a constituent in the ward come together to choose. This is what it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Come together to choose a delegate who will now in turn represent you if it is an indirect primaries.
Okay.
Then if it is direct primaries, all the members of that political party registered are the ones who will decide amongst them, which is supposed to be the very freest form of, democratic
like a smaller form of the
fantastic of the larger process.
Yeah.
But you see, very greedy and self-centered politicians came in, understood that the people don't know the power they possess. So, like, great philosophers will say, freedom can only be gotten when you know that you're in bondage. So if you see your bondage as not bondage, then when they talk to you about freedom, it's like, what are you talking about? So I thank God the hunger in the land now is beginning to let the people know that they have been in bondage. The deprivation has now opened their eyes to it. So now, back to the process. You choose a delegate. Now, the most commonly used in Nigeria is the indirect system of primaries. So you choose a delegate, in quotes, who is supposed to represent your interests. So what that means is those that chose that delegate at the party level, at the baseline level, which is at the ward or the polling unit level, say, please, when you want to choose whoever the candidates that were met, please consult with us.
So we'll let you know.
We'll let you know who you should go and vote. Are you following the process?
Yes, please.
But what now happens is the leaders, this leadership, electorates need to unbundle it so that power can now fully remain with them. See that when they say leader.
Now you're talking about the establishment.
Oh, yes, the establishment.
Okay.
So what now happens, because the establishment know that the electorates don't know the power in their hand. It come with money.
Okay.
So I want to give you the genealogy. It come with plenty money. So you will find a man with 3 cars, massive cars, go to a polling unit that they've never seen a car before. Probably what the ward chairman is driving as a vehicle may just be a bicycle. I'm talking of the rural areas.
Right,
And then he comes and says, ward chairman, this is what we want. Ward chairman say, yes, sir. The people are looking. Hunger everywhere. These people have already orchestrated this hunger because they want to use it. Like you said, during our pre-talk. It has been weaponized.
Yeah.
Hunger has been weaponized. So he gets there, tells the people, this is who we want.
The leaders have spoken.
Yes, the leaders have spoken. This is who we want. We put you here. That's where the first fault starts. It's not the leaders that are supposed to nominate those delegates.
Okay.
It's the people, the constituent.
Yeah.
So there should be a voting process where they come together and vote.
That means you are fighting indirect system.
Oh yes, not just the indirect system. I'm fighting the system entirely.
Okay.
Because it has been hijacked. The system has been hijacked. So those with the big bags, the deep pockets, will come in the name of leadership.
Okay.
And say, this is who we want. We want Cecilia to represent this constituency in the House of Assembly. And how do they get it? How do they achieve that? The moment they make that information known, they drop the bag. The delegates are now working for the leaders and themselves alone. So now, you all are witnesses. We all are witnesses to what just happened. The primaries that just happened.
Yeah.
Where they dollarized.
Across all political parties.
All.
Oh.
No one was spared.
Yeah. Even the so-called third force.
Everybody was spending money.
Yeah.
So that was just a function of the default in the system. So the moment they do that, they monetize this delegate system, and then a candidate emerges. Mind you, these monies were not philanthropic. These are not philanthropic gestures. You cannot carry your money and go and hard-earned money. You say 20 million naira. You give delegates.
So you pay the people to serve the people.
Now, I want to take you through the stages of the payment now.
Yeah.
It takes 20 million naira, gives the delegates. And then the delegates, in turn, give him the trust. Then, when the delegates are even calling him tomorrow, he does not pick their call. He has paid those ones.
Yeah.
On to the next one, which is the general election. Then, the leaders, because they have swallowed the money, Because delegates have swallowed the money, now tell party, oh, party have spoken, party have decided, let us join hands to make sure he wins. Then they now sell this dummy to the electors who will not be voting. And the electors will just go like sheep led to the slaughter. And indeed, they are really slaughtered. So then they sell another dummy. Your votes will not count. Your votes don't count. Why are they buying it?
Mm-hmm.
Your votes don't count. Why then are they buying it? It means your vote counts. So this has been a systemic, error perpetrated by this ruling class.
Okay, now let me ask this question because I know, Honorable, you were once with the PDP.
Yes.
So when your name was brought in, that you are our guest, and I was surprised seeing that the fact that you're now with the SDP.
Yes.
So now, is it because of what you just explained that brought about you moving from the PDP to the APC? Sorry, from the PDP to the SDP.
To the SDP, essentially.
Okay.
Essentially. So I would want to give you.
So do you think that is a way to cause a change, moving from a system you ought to be in it, like what Wike? Apparently, Wike is not happy with the way things is going with the PDP. And you see what Wike is saying. He said, I'm not going to leave the system. If I leave the PDP, things is going to get worse for the party. Because this is a party we built. And I know you to be a very faithful member of the PDP. You've been with the PDP all these years. Now, walking out from the PDP or moving to another political party, do you think it is the right decision to take to change the system?
Fantastic question. First, let me start from the Wike end. Wike has risen through the ranks, from local government chairman to commissioner and governor, two-term governor under the party.
And even minister.
And minister. So he's been able to demonstrate as a person, I'm not calling his party now if you notice, as a person what he can do for his people. Right? So on that note, if Wike is not being treated fairly in his party, and then he decides to say, even if I'm not being treated fairly, I will stay. He has had a chance of, if I'm not mistaken, over 20 years to demonstrate to his people at various positions of authority what he's capable of doing. But in the case of Ricosa, who is a young man that studied the space, looked at the constitution and found out that I can't run an independent candidacy. I need to join a political party first. And I looked around at the time. APC was not doing well. PDP was somewhat the bride of the people. So there's no way you can join the enemy of the people. So I joined the friends of the people. And that's when I joined the PDP in 2014. And like you rightly said, I've been very faithful and religious as a member of the party, knowing full well that before you can change the process, you must join the process. But when I looked at the first primaries that was conducted in 2019 by PDP, in as much as it was tampered, manipulated, and skewed, but they did it in a very sane and civilized manner. That you have been cheated, but it was
Were you a candidate then?
I was an aspirant in 2019.
Okay, aspirant.
Right? Where we were just 3 aspirants.
Same position?
Same position, yes. So, all I kept hearing is, you're a fantastic product.
And the future is bright.
The future is bright. You got all it takes, but you have to wait. So I sat down and I said, is it a waiting contest? We have what we want to come and do. You are telling us to wait. So explain, is it a waiting contest? He said, no. It is a leadership party. So you have to wait. The leaders will pick you when it's your turn. I said, no. I may just give you one more shot and let's see where this thing leads us to. And that was where, when the governor Obaseki, was being troubled in APC, people like us took the front burner. We took the front seat. The reason was simple. Not because we may have verified his character and content in the first tenure completely.
But you guys fought him.
No, we fought for him.
Okay, no, fought him in his first tenure hard on.
Yes.
Yes, I know I know your party chairman, Dan Obi was his greatest critic.
Yes.
There is hardly 1 week you won't see Dan Obi on TV talking about the government.
Yes. And then if you notice, that was even the year the governor put himself forward to even serve.
Yeah.
Because he was being criticized. That is the work of an opposition party. Not stupid criticism. Criticism that you can interact with. You see it. But when the godfather now said, look, you cannot do your second term. Like the other godfather did it in the West. So you can't do your second term. Edo people, the people I love so much, the people that have a mind of their own, said no. Now we're not even looking at opacity. Let us give you 2 reasons why you cannot say this. 1, we don't want godfathers here.
That's right.
Then 2, this is the same man you praise to high heavens.
Good.
That can continue your legacies and everything and all this, that. And now you are saying it's not good. Then the person who you say was a monster is the one that is good. No, you are insulting our sensibilities with this. And Edo people stood their ground.
And your party had to welcome it.
Oh yes, but it was a tough decision at the time, because a lot of people within the party then who saw what some of us were not seeing said, no, don't. Now that they are driving him out, this is the best time to shut the door.
No, the reason why I'm asking, I want to ask you a simple question now. I'm looking at it from the angle of a political party.
Yes.
Now, your major rival
Yes.
has been weakened because there's a crisis.
Yes.
And now they're going to lose the governorship, the current governor.
Yes.
Push him, and you, the major opposition party, you guys will not want to admit him in. That makes you the most powerful force as far as the election is concerned.
Yes. At the
because
time.
you at that time, because you said something that this man you guys have not verified his character.
Yes.
You don't even know him.
Yes.
And the godfather said you are not going to accept him to get a ticket a second time. Is it not strategic for you guys to know that this is an opportunity for you guys to get power back?
I wish I was on the table where these things were discussed. What you are saying now, I'm sure that we to continue.
No, because you don't know. This is why I'm asking you this question, because you are using the angle of we the Edos. That's emotion.
Yes.
In politics, you're supposed to be strategic and not emotional.
No.
But here saying we the Edos, we don't want Godfather. Is that what you guys want, or you are looking for a situation when you, as a political party, you are bringing in somebody that understands the culture?
Yes. So first we are Edo people before we are PDP or APC.
Good.
And that's why I said we the Edos. So you go to other climes that can take things like this hook, line, and sinker. They say it doesn't matter. Edo people will tell you, Edo state as a whole, they will tell you no. We do things not because others are doing it, but because we feel it is right.
So why the outburst now? You guys are taking decisions. Why not bear the consequence? Why the issue of legacy and...
I'm no longer in the PDP.
No,
so when you ask me these questions now, I find it difficult.
But you were once aggrieved.
Yeah, so...
And I see the line too. You are not so pleased with what...
I may want to answer the question before I left the party.
Okay.
Not now. I don't know what is going on in the PDP right now.
Okay.
All I know is I need to sit with my people and tell them why I'm putting myself forward to represent them. You know, but before I left, so I was just trying to give you like the basic occurrence of what happened during the primary election. So now there was a tussle. The governor had come in, the party leadership had now, accepted him, and then he had a safe haven. But before we knew it, boom, there was an infraction, and then there was a huge crack on the wall. 2 factions emerged. What I kept on saying, which nobody cared to listen to, what is the cause of this problem?
Are you privy to any agreement that was entered? Any?
That is what I'm telling you. I said I wish I
was.
Because
we from the outside, we heard it that there was this thing about the SSG position, about the I don't know.
But you and I, you know, both parties have come to debunk and also proclaim.
So what's the cause of this squabble?
One party said, I gave the other party money. The other party said, you didn't give me money. One party said, this party was asking for too much. The other one said, it was just integration. So for me, these negotiations, where I have problem with these negotiations, is because when they were negotiating, were the party people or the Edo people they seek to represent in all these things carry that line.
Some persons feel that your party then they were so desperate, they just wanted power at all costs, so they didn't bother to look at the books at all.
Well, you know, typical of, you know, the normal Nigerian system, political system, when you're out of power
For that
will
long.
be food for that long. Because you are not representing the people, you are starved. You're representing yourself. But if you're representing the people will control who goes there. So for me, whatever decision that made them, in quotes now, those at the top, bring him in, may be different from what we wanted. What we wanted was bring him in and then let him know that the people brought him in. And by God's grace, thank God, he knows that the people brought him in. That was during the general election. Even if they probably did not allow him, a smooth sail at the leadership level. But when it was time for campaigns, you saw how Edo people came out en masse.
Not the PDP, Edo.
Not the PDP anymore.
So it was actually
people.
Edos that
That is the point I was making.
Okay.
So the Edos now say, yes, PDP have somewhat, done what Napoleon could not do by bringing him in to give him at least a roof over his head. So we now want to tell the leadership, all the establishment from wherever party you are at, in Edo, Godfatherism is a canker. Godfatherism is not allowed at any level. You may be rich, you may have all the weapons, you may have all the power and all, but the strongest power is that tomb, wherein we will go there and then express ourselves to say, this is who we want. You that is forcing us, you can force us to the water, but you cannot force us to drink.
Okay, now, see, our time is fast spent, so I just want to put ship in this quickly. You are vying for the position of the member representing the good people of Oredo East.
Yes.
Presently, nobody is representing.
Nobody.
Now, does that mean there is no development so far as far as your constituency is concerned?
Very sad. I'm answering this question with a very heavy heart. First, to know that for 4 years, the people of Edo, as it were supposed to have a representative from a party. So this is it. When you are voted from your party, you are no longer the property of that party. You are now the property of the constituency that you seek to represent. So I share in this pain that we did not have a representation. So we are not able to know what is going on in government because we don't have a representative. And even if we had a representative there, I'm sure it would have been super difficult because the representative is going to be answerable to who put in there, not the people. Because you all know the way the elections, that last House of Assembly elections went. It was rigged. They just wrote it, 24 members of the APC won. To show to you that it was rigged, that was where the crisis started from. Some said, I want to have control. The other one said, no, you won't have control. That's why we got to where we are now. So, looking at it from the point of view of having a representative in the House of Assembly, and for 4 years, Oredo East, I will speak for Oredo East, did not only have their representative sworn in, but the young man went back. For me, that was the strongest decision he took in his life. You were sworn in. You left the seat. Which means it was really not the people you went there to represent.
But as it stands now, a lot of people are still saying that we don't have a functional House of Assembly in Edo State. That what we have is rubber stamp. So if you're the guy made a huge mistake by going back instead of representing these people, and we don't have, a lot of people say we don't have, and you just tells you that we don't have a House of Assembly. So is it a wrong decision he has taken?
So now this is it. It's a stage-by-stage analysis.
Okay.
The first stage is whether it was the people that put you there or not. That you're even able to get there by a fiat. You should have gone on your knees to say, Lord, thank you. Now I have a chance to represent my people. I will go back to them and speak to them and then represent them. But you didn't do that. Rather, you went to meet the Godfather and then left that seat vacant, leaving your people without a representative. Now, the point I'm making is, on the second stage, which is the very most crucial part, is the part where you have the executive arm of government putting the legislative arm in their pocket.
But it's not just in Edo State.
That's the point I'm making. Charity must begin from one place, at home. Edo State is known for setting precedents. And sadly, we have also set a very wrong precedent in having a House of Assembly that conforms to what you want, 10 members. That is why we are also now coming out to say, no, we need to reset this precedent. Not just having a complete house this time, but to have a very vibrant and interactive house that seeks to represent their people. Personally, I don't have the intention to go to the House of Assembly to start thinking of how to impeach a government, a sitting government that is representing the people. But I can tell you for free that my intention is to go there and ensure that the executive arm of government knows that this is an arm of government standing in for the people of this constituency. I took an oath of office, so I should be able to defend that oath. So when you hear them say, oh, you can't do that, oh, if you do it, the governor will seize your resources. He's seizing it because you didn't make it public. So, as part of my manifesto, I have a manifesto already. As part of my manifesto, I promise the people, as soon as I'm sworn in June next year, by the grace of God, I will make the constituency allowance and my earnings public. Because it's public office, it's not private office.
Yes.
You are running your own private business. So you have no reason to declare what you earn to me. It's your public, it's your private affair.
Yeah.
But when it becomes a public affair, it is public. I have a master's in public administration and policy. So if you look at administration, administration says when you are in public office, you make everything public. That's why you hear some people say it's an open door policy. Mm-hmm. So my first intention is to make the resources that come to the constituency public. This way, the governor cannot seize it. You hear what just happened recently when Wike said 13% derivation funds accrued to oil-producing states have been paid. And the people are now agitating. Why do you think they're agitating? Because that information was made public. So if people didn't know, there will be no agitation. Yeah. So when a rep is afraid, the House of Assembly member is afraid that if I don't represent my people, the governor will seize my funds, it's because he too is a thief. If you go there and make the funds public, if the governor sees you, you tell them, governor has seized it. I'm not sure the governor wants a mob action in his office, where the people are saying, you cannot seize our constituency funds. It's not yours. Okay,
that's true. Down to the chances of your political party. Okay, now, looking at your ambition now,
yeah.
You are with the SDP. How popular is your party in your constituency?
Okay. First of all, like my late father would say, you so rest in peace, the toga does not make the priest. It's the priest that makes the toga. So if you're a reverend father, and then they hang 20 togas here, the moment anybody comes here, they will not look at the toga. Even when you're wearing a t-shirt and a jeans, they will come and meet you and say, Father Kewe, good morning, sir.
I like that name, Father Kewe.
Right? And then they are addressing you as father.
Yeah.
Not the toga you are wearing.
Yeah.
Right? But when you go out in public with that toga, they say, oh, that's a priest. Those that don't know you.
Yeah.
The point here is simple. Before now, Peter Obi was not, Labour Party was not the bride of the people. Mm-hmm. It was the things Peter Obi was able to, put in the people's mind, expose, that made people say, so which party are you now? He said, Labour. We will labor together on this. In the same vein, when I left, like you rightly spotted, I left the PDP for a purpose. The people denied me the right to represent my people. So I left. And then I left to the Social Democratic Party. Typical of every political party. These are vehicles. But it's not an unknown vehicle. You and I know the SDP of 30 years back. Mm-hmm. The only party that has ever won an election on the back of the people. Mm. So maybe history is going to repeat itself again in small scale, where we have a Desmond Ricosa win the House of Assembly because the people want him there, not the party now. So I will now become the face of the Social Democratic Party. I will be the one to tell the people the logo is the white horse. I will be the one to tell the people this is a party. It's not where you are going to die. This is just a channel, a vehicle for us to get to where we are going to. And luckily, the logo of the party is the horse. You know what the horse does? The horse can move you from point A to point B in a record time. Yeah. So I'm sure that is what I intend to do. And it was not a coincidence. God made it so that the logo of the party I seek to fly my flag with is the horse. see, there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of traction to be covered. So I need a horsepower. So on that note, SDP is going to be widely marketed. Incidentally, I'm the only candidate running on SDP in Edo South as a whole.
Okay.
So everything SDP, we have now narrowed it just to Oredo East.
So we don't have any
No.
for the Senate?
No. What you have are just names filling in the blank space. Because the people are scared that if I come out, nobody knows SDP. Who told you nobody will know SDP? You come out first.
I mean, there's something wrong with your political structure, your party structure in the state. If for you not to have...
Incidentally, SDP as we know it is what's now crystallized to become PDP. So when you're talking of structure, like the Labour Party has rightly answered, structure is about people. So I can tell you here for free that Oredo East has over 260 polling units. And as we speak, I already have representatives of the SDP in each of these polling units. That is building a structure. That is where resources are going to be expended. That is where I also rely on volunteers to assist me to say, okay, we will volunteer to be your representative.
You're calling for money bags, right?
Not really money bags. I don't need money bags.
Okay.
I need sincere volunteers.
But it's expensive.
What makes it expensive? Politics is not really an expensive venture if we are doing it.
Because even the chairman of the Labour Party cried out a few weeks back.
Yes, because these are all the same 10 and tempest with the way things are being run. It's just Obi that the people are looking at. You can hear a lot of people crying, this has been cheated out, this because now Labour is not a new bride. The same old, hawks, the same old ways of doing things are being visited into the party. But we want to see a situation where we will not emphasize party. So we are emphasizing the people. This way, the people can be held accountable. Now, what happens is, when someone fails in PDP, they will not say he failed. They will not say PDP failed, they'll say he failed. But when he is succeeding, they'll say PDP is succeeding.
Party, yeah.
So you see the scheme. Now I say no. Put it solely on the person. Forget about party.
So now what's your chances of winning the election?
150%.
150?
Yes.
That's quite optimistic of you.
Yes. 150% because right now, if you go west on the street, you ask them, what's going to be the voting pattern for? And luckily, House of Assembly is strictly on its own. It's a standalone election.
Yeah.
There's no governorship on that day. So we will have time to speak to the people.
And the governors of every state are interested in...
Super interested. Matter of fact...
That's like, if in Edo State, it's going to be like the high point here.
Oh, yes. Edo, for instance, voice on the street says the government of the day had a plan B. So they bought all the tickets of the political party called Labour for House of Assembly alone. So why didn't they buy for reps?
Allegedly.
That's what I said. I said allegedly.
Okay.
Why didn't they buy for reps? Why didn't they buy for Senate? Because the interest is on the House of Assembly. There's crisis in PDP. And between you and me, if you're a student of law, if you're a student of the electoral process, judicially, you will know that PDP will not have a candidate in the election.
Might not.
Will not.
Okay.
So you will quote me.
Okay.
When it happens.
Like we always say, the views expressed by our guests is solely their view and not that of TSLNigeria. So he just said we not and we are saying might not.
Yes, will not, because if you look at precedents, things like this that happened before cost the political party their chance in the ballot. Yeah. So well, except maybe this is Nigeria. Things can also change.
Yeah, that's how we decide to use the word might not.
But
it's might not will not.
Going on the streets, you ask who are you voting for? They'll tell you the APC candidate is not who we wanted to represent us, so we can't vote for him. Then you go, who are you voting for? We're supposed to vote for PDP, but we don't know who is even coming out. And then, for the fact that the governor has not treated us fairly, we don't intend to vote for anybody.
Is there a chance of you returning back to the PDP in the nearest future?
If you ask me, for now, I don't see any chance of that.
Okay. So it's going to be on that note that we'll end our discussion this morning. Like I said, Honorable Ricosa is someone that you would love to have again and again on set. And I guess in the nearest future, not distant time from now, I'll be playing host to Honorable Ricosa. This time he will be coming on set with his manifesto. He'll come and read it line by line. Let us even stray, because we know politicians they are good with coming up with promises that they don't even have the potentials or the capacity of delivering. So thank you very much, Honorable, for joining me on set this morning. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. So until we come your way again next on Wednesday for another edition of Politics and Power, please do well to follow us across all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at TSLNigeria TV, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel at TSLNigeria TV, and do not fail to click on the notification bell so that you will be the first to see our videos anytime they drop. Have a good day.